Hi, I'm Robert Klein. You know the Robert Klein radio show? Well, that's the same Robert Klein. I hope you join us this week when my guests will be Glenn Tilbrook and Chris Difford from Squeeze, David Lindley and Joe Vitale. That's the Robert Klein radio show. I hope you'll be listening.
Welcome to the Robert Klein Radio Show. The Robert Klein Radio Show is brought to you by Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. And by Filmways Pictures' exciting suspense drama Blowout, a Brian De Palma film starring John Travolta and Nancy Allen, opening at a theater near you on Friday, July 24th. And by Columbia Pictures' soon-to-be-released Nobody's Perfect, starring Robert Klein. Tonight, Robert's guests are Glenn Tilbrook and Chris Difford of Squeeze, Joe Vitale, and a live performance by David Lindley. So don't go away. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey, we're back, and we just missed a burp. Can't beat that Miller's. Anyway, will you welcome Glenn Tilbrook and Chris Difford from Squeeze? Say hello, gentlemen. Identify yourselves so people on their stereos across the country can adjust.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm on the left-hand channel here.
Oh, I'm Glenn. I must be on the right, I suppose.
I'm Robert. I'm in a shoe, and I'm... There is a discology here that's quite long for young fellows. UK Squeeze in 78, Cool for Cats in 79, 6 Squeeze songs crammed into 110, Argy Bargy, which I heard and enjoyed very much, and East Side Story, which is the new record. Let me hold it up to the mic, as I normally do. Especially for our blind listeners, put your hand to the radio. No, we're all blind when we listen to the radio. That's the beauty of it. Argy Bargy is a very elaborate record. And the newest is simpler, and it was produced by Elvis Costello. What is the feeling? I understand that Nick Lowe, who has been a guest on our show, you would have offered him a chance to produce one of your records?
Yeah, that was Argy Bargy.
Yeah.
I think what happened with Argy Bargy is that we went into the studio and it got very elaborate because we'd overdub things like drums and bass and, do it very, very slowly and methodically. Mm-hmm. Whereas with, by the time of East Side Story, we'd all discovered alcohol, so we wanted to get out of the studio and down the pub as quickly as possible. So.
Is that true that, is that more of an English approach?
Well, getting down the pub.
Say alcohol, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something to be said for it. I mean, you get loosened up in the studio.
Ringo and Pete Townsend did about 4 quarts while they were sitting here on the show. Perfectly straight at the end. I couldn't quite understand it. Yeah.
Let's get started, then.
I think what I'm getting at here is that you like performing live. Huh?
Most definitely, yeah.
And so that the approach now in a recording studio is to...
Get a live feel.
Get a live feel. What about imperfections? What about it? No
Sodom,
Huh?
Sodom.
And Gomorrah? Can we have a British translator, please? Sodom, and was I right there? I'm not sure. In other words, screw them. Yeah. The hell with it. Right. I understand that. It's funny. I got the inference, but I wasn't...
Imperfections are definitely to be heard.
Tell us about the... you didn't finish that story because I thought it was interesting, and it's a great compliment to you. I'll finish it for you. You're too modest. Listen what Nick Lowe said, who was one of my favorite guys. He said, no, there's no need to do it. You've produced it so well yourselves. That's a lovely compliment.
That was a compliment.
Also...
fantastic compliment.
It is a great compliment. How many think it's a good compliment? I'm doing my needle voltage meter here thing. Tell us about this Elvis Costello association.
Well, we met him in a pub.
Of course.
Actually in a bar by
What's the difference between a pub and a bar?
The bar's in a BBC building, like this building.
Uh-huh.
Sort of television stuff, radio. Right. Whereas a pub will be a building unto itself.
In other words, it's architectural, the difference.
Yeah.
Architecturally isolated from the rest of the buildings,
Yes.
The bar is contained inside a building.
So, you said
now
to
you know.
Costello, Costello, I want you to put this forever. And he said, I sure would. And thus, this historic friendship was born.
No, he was drunk, we weren't.
Oh, you were
I
sober.
remember the first time I met him, he had this like really drunk with big puffed up head.
That big? You just made a 3-foot head.
He looked like
Call up
Elephant
the
Man.
Guinness Book of World Records. And do you drink the Guinness Book of World Records? So what happened? He likes your stuff?
Yeah, so we just thought, just for fun, we'd go in the studio for a week and see what happened. And we recorded a couple of tracks that sounded great, so we then, said, well, let's do an album. So we did, and it took 3 weeks.
In other words, it was a trial run for a
Yeah.
while, there, right?
Yeah, well, it was a trial run.
Was he on trial? Costello, one more mistake and you don't get the job.
Yeah, it was definitely one of
Yeah.
those.
Well, do you think it's important to have someone from outside produce?
I don't think it's necessarily important with the band. I think what we wanted was, someone to come in and say, "Look, that's a damn good track," or "That's really horrible. I don't know why you're bothering with that," sort of thing. It's just someone who isn't in the band who can provide an outside ear. That's why we wanted to work with someone.
Objectivity. Yes, that's what I meant with that. Yeah, someone from the outside. Also, someone whose work you respect, huh?
Yeah, and also as a friend as well. That's very important.
How's the tour been doing? Having a good time?
It doesn't start till tonight, so
Oh.
I can't really say.
How
But
much-
yeah,
I've
it's
got,
going
I've got a
fine.
feeling it's going really well. If I look into next week, if we were in next week, I'd say the dates have been going fantastically.
Well,
We're missing the royal wedding to be here, This is a big cut in our life.
Yeah, we want to make it known what a big sacrifice we're making coming over here. Charles and Di are getting married
know.
on the 29th of July, and we're going to be here. Still, I made a point of getting us all T-shirts. We've got Charles and Di T-shirts that we're going to wear on the 29th.
let me ask you this. You're an Englishman, and I don't mean to be in any way, offensive. Do you think that they're not married? Do you think they've gone all the way? No,
As
I'm
an
asking
English,
this
as
in
an
the best
Englishman,
possible-
as an Englishman, sir, I'm affronted by your question.
Sir? You have every reason to be affronted by me.
How far have you come?
I don't know. I'll leave that one alone, too. Look, they have a right to get married, too, and procreate, and they have to go to the bathroom like everyone else, although kings do it
Listen,
especially different.
When Charles and Di have a baby, it's going to be immaculate conception. I'm convinced that they'll never go near each other.
I think so. It's pretty good looking. A little too much hairspray, in my opinion. He lit a cigar and blew her up once. Other than that, I guess it's tough to be a king, because it's too comical for words. On the other hand, it's an important traditional thing. There are roots back. I mean, the United States is so young and babyish. And our king is really, he used to be an actor. Oh, well, we don't have a king, sorry. I forgot. Do we have a jack? What is a jack? Oh, it's only in cards. I'm just joking about that, because you guys talk so pretty. Those accents are lovely to us, They're ordinary to you. Just like mine must sound real good to you, too.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
I mean, we could appreciate each other's accents.
Okay, I hear you.
Hey, I hear you, Space. I don't want to invade your space. I hear you. Okay, let's not get on an international jingo trip. Okay, there's lots of English things I like.
Far out.
Kidney pie. Anthony Newley. What kind of food? We'll be right back with more of Squeeze and our next guests after this word. Don't go away.
Now, back to Robert Klein.
We're back, and we're talking with our friends from Squeeze. I wanted to ask you about someone else's heart and someone else's bell. And do you have a series of someone else's songs?
Someone else's smell.
Will that be
Someone
coming
else's
off?
watch. They'll all be on the next album. Someone else's album.
Is it true that the two of you have written over 600 songs together?
This morning, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are they all copyright and bona fide? And have you performed them all, or?
Only on cassette machines.
Yeah, yeah.
We've been writing together for about 8 years, and I think quite a lot of the songs that we've done were like, 8, 7, 6, 5 years ago. I mean, being in a band's a very time-consuming thing, here and there, talking to people. Don't get as much time as we used to.
Well, who took the ad when you met? Someone took an ad looking for him?
Yeah, that was
I
Chris.
took an ad. It was a complete bluff.
He said he had a band just about to go in to record their first album, and they were looking for a lead guitarist. And I thought, well, this is the thing for me. So I rang it up, and I went to audition. I was the only guy who answered. There was no band, no album.
And it wasn't even me. I wasn't there.
It was complete bluff.
Now back to Robert Klein.
We're back, and anytime I say we're back, we're back. It's like Peter Pan. We're back. I want to be back. We're gone. We're gone. The magic of radio. My next guest is also a wonderful, wonderful, called a session man, and I guess that's the label attached to you guys in a way. We'll talk about that too. He now has his own album, which I'll hold up to the microphone, and his first solo album, Plantation Harbor, Joe Vitale. Joe? Welcome, Joe.
Good morning.
That proves he's here. Okay. That's step one. We have to prove you're here. People could think we're faking it.
I'm stunned. You guys are pretty funny. I've been enjoying the show from behind the window.
Oh, yeah? Thank you. These guys are funny.
They are.
To look at.
Squeeze put me through the ringer, and there's no... they squeezed me for every effort of
Everything.
suck. I mean, they met me tit for tat, so to speak. David is a good raconteur, and you're a drummer and a keyboard?
Yeah.
You also play the keyboard and drums on your lap? Like his guitar?
I've tried that.
You put them on a stand.
Doesn't work. Bongos.
Joe, something similar, there's a sort of similar story. First of all, you guys are going to be involved in a tour, right?
We are right now.
Yes. And what does the tour consist of? The two of you.
Oh, we can't answer that question.
You can't.
Now, there's bad things go on
Oh.
on this tour.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, afterwards.
Okay,
you
we'll
have-
cut that section. We'll
But you
just
have-
lose that, okay.
But you have such a smile on your face when you said bad things that I want to hear it.
No, really great.
Oh, all
things
right.
go
Well,
on.
we know. But you're on a tour right now.
Yeah, we're on tour right now.
This is highly secret. Is it government business? Or? How long will this tour last?
We can't answer that question either. No.
For the first time, we had rock and roll spies here. They could be government agents. They could be from another land or another world. All right. Do you think there's going to be any baseball this season at all?
We can answer that.
As we speak now, there's a baseball strike. The English guys just went to sleep on us. That's the thing. You hit a stick with, Americans occupy
boy,
themselves with hours. Husbands go, "Leave me alone, Flora! Another Miller!" And don't see their wives for 8 months.
Those guys with abnormal shoulders, you mean? Those things, is that right?
No, that's football.
All right.
But not your football. What do you call soccer? Is there a British interpreter come from the UN yet?
Have you had strikes for very long here? Or
You
is
mean
it- do
the
you think
strikes in general, or?
Yeah, not strikes, pang.
What did I miss? I've lost control of the show. Hello, Central. Help! Doing my Thurman. We have lots of strikes. I mean this sincerely. Everyone sitting here tonight.
Witty.
I really
witty
enjoyed.
people.
I really enjoyed the music, and Squeeze. I really enjoyed those songs in Italian. They were excellent. It was a novel. Wrong. Oh, that's Pavarotti's next week. I enjoyed that trip around the.
Our collection of Greek folk songs is coming out in 2 weeks' time, so you'll be sure to rush out and buy that.
Right. We can keep that, even though he made folk sound like. In fact, thank goodness for your accent, we got an excellent double entendre. But the people taping this show at home are going to go, "Hey, let's play that again, Greek song." Well, that's the thing with a chat show, I shall never speak again, And We have people from all over the world here, from Ohio to Los Angeles to England to
Greenwich.
New York. We have several people here from Bridgeport and a few others from... Hey, I had a good time tonight. You guys, sharp. And I wish you the best with all of your projects. The latest Squeeze album is called East Side Story. And by the way, why did you choose a Leonard Bernstein score? Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. Bernardo, watch out! Da-da-da. Oh, wrong. That's the wrong side. I even got that. That was West Side Story. I'm so sorry. East Side Story.
It was originally going to be called West of Eden. But so what, you know?
No, I like wit. You have it. And I enjoyed, and I like that you guys don't take yourselves too seriously. You dare not. Because you... I wish you good luck, and try not to go to the pub before 8 a.m. if possible. But then after that, go on. When you're not on the other hours, it's a good, healthy place, except make sure when you shoot darts that you're not too off, because you'll shoot the bartender in the head right through his neck. He can't serve you anymore. Glenn, Chris, Squeeze, Joe, David, Robert, each of the audience, Harriet, Sally, Pink, Paul, out there, Aaron, we have the list of names on the credits now. You can't see them, we're on radio. We thank you for coming, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
Thank you for being with us this evening. Join us again next week for more Robert Klein hilarity and his guests REO Speedwagon and Gary U.S. Bonds.